Welcome to the Simplicity of Wellness podcast. I'm your host, Amy White, board-certified holistic nutritionist, certified life coach, and women's weight loss specialist. This show is for real women living real lives, women who are tired of extremes, done with quick fixes, and ready to feel better in their body without turning their life upside down. Here, we focus on simple, sustainable strategies that work in your actual life. We talk about food, metabolism, mindset, and the quiet shifts that lead to real transformation. Let's get started. Hello, Simplifiers. Welcome back. Today, we're diving into a question I hear almost every week. Why do I eat so well all day and then lose it at night? You start with good intentions. You're trying to be healthy, maybe even perfect, but then somewhere around 3 p.m. or after dinner or just before bed, something shifts. You're back in the kitchen. You're in the pantry. You're reaching for whatever's quick, sweet, crunchy, or comforting. And the thought that follows? What's wrong with me? If you've ever asked that question, this episode is for you. Because today, we're talking about why you crave sugar at night and what to do instead. And here's the spoiler up front. It's not a willpower issue. It's a fuel issue. It's a rhythm issue. And it's fixable when you understand what your body's actually asking for. Let's start here. If you're eating healthy all day, salads, smoothies, bars, snacks, maybe even skipping meals, but still crashing at night, the problem probably isn't your evening behavior. It's what's missing earlier in the day. Most of the women I work with come into my programs eating too little and too late. They don't wake up hungry, so they skip breakfast. They sip coffee through back-to-back meetings. They might grab a protein bar or a handful of nuts, but it's more grazing than real meals. All day long, their bodies are whispering, I need fuel, I need support, but they've trained themselves not to listen. So by the time evening hits, those whispers become shouts. The body's like, you didn't feed me earlier, so now we're going to make up for that. That's not a discipline problem. That's biology. When you don't eat enough protein, especially in the first half of the day, your body starts to feel the deficit, not just in calories, but in the nutrients and building blocks it actually needs. Protein doesn't give you energy the way carbs and fats do, but it gives your body something more foundational. Amino acids, vitamins, minerals, the raw materials your cells need to function, repair, and stay in balance. And when those needs aren't met, your appetite stays switched on. Not because you're doing anything wrong, but because your body is still looking for what it didn't get. So what happens? You start gravitating toward quick fix foods, snacks, sweets, simple carbs, in an attempt to satisfy that underlying need. And it works for a minute, but it also sends your blood sugar on a roller coaster. And when the crash hits, you're even more depleted than before. This is how undereating protein leads to overeating energy. It creates that scattered, insatiable feeling so many women describe having at night. That thought, I don't know why I'm eating this. I'm not even hungry. It's not about self-control. It's about missing nourishment. Let's talk about this phrase. I was good all day until I wasn't. When clients say this to me, I always ask, what does being good actually mean? For most women over 40, it means eating less than you wanted to, saying no to carbs, white-knuckling through hunger, drinking coffee or chewing gum instead of eating a real lunch, skipping meals, thinking you'll save calories for later. But here's what that actually does to your body. It tells your metabolism you're under threat. It keeps your blood sugar on a roller coaster, and it trains your brain to start obsessing about food. What looks like being good is actually forcing your body to fight for balance. Think of it this way. Restriction during the day leads to overcompensation at night. So if nighttime cravings have become your pattern, what do you actually do about it? You don't need to restrict harder. You don't need to swear off carbs forever. You do need to get curious and ask, did I actually eat enough protein today? For many women, especially those who've dieted for years, The answer to why you might be underfeeding during the day isn't because you're not hungry. It's because your hunger signals have gone quiet. You've taught your body that food might not be coming, so it stopped asking. That's why I don't encourage forced fasting. Yes, if you wake up and you're not hungry, you don't have to eat right away. But if you're someone who rarely feels hunger at all, especially in the morning, you might be dealing with metabolic miscommunication, not true satiety. This is where intentional rhythm comes in. Even if you're not ravenous first thing in the morning, your body still needs a first meal, ideally no later than 11 a.m., especially if you've spent years ignoring your hunger cues. Not because the clock says so, but because that meal tells your metabolism, I've got you. You don't need to chase sugar later. And here's the nuance. I'm not asking you to eat breakfast if you're full and nourished, but I am asking you to notice when you're skipping meals out of habit, distraction, or the old I'll be good today script, and gently interrupt that. Because your body can't give you healthy hunger cues if you're constantly ignoring the few signals it is trying to send. When clients say the cravings are the worst at night, I remind them it's not a personal weakness, it's just an unmet need. Nothing has gone wrong. Your food rhythm just needs to be reset. The more you feed your body what it actually needs, especially protein, the quieter those cravings become. Over time, with consistency, your sense of calm will return. That's why I teach rituals over rules, because what works long-term is what you can repeat when life is messy, not just when it's perfect. So if the evenings feel hard, if cravings hit and you find yourself spiraling into snacks, this is your invitation to trace back your day. Not with guilt, but with curiosity. Ask yourself, did I eat enough today? Did I prioritize protein? Did I give my body what it needed when food felt like a suggestion, not an emergency? Because when you meet your needs upstream, you stop drowning downstream. Your body isn't betraying you. It's just trying to speak in a language it thinks you'll hear and understand. So take the time to listen. That's all for today. I hope this episode helped you see your cravings not as a failure, but as a signal. You don't need more willpower. You need to meet your body's needs before they turn into cravings. I'll be back next week with more insights, more tools, and more encouragement to help you feel strong, nourished, and back in charge of your body. One last thing before you go. If you're tired of feeling like food is running the show, I have something for you. It's called the Craving Control Fix, and it's my free 3-step guide to help you calm the chaos, reduce cravings, and feel more in control of food. It's not a diet. It's how you create a sense of calm in chaos. You can grab it for free by clicking the link in the show notes. Thanks for listening. Talk to you soon.